concerned about the fact that CCS is deploying at a much slower rate than we would like to see. So that is a major concern. The second point I'd like to make is regarding renewables. It would be great to see an explosion in terms of renewables. As much renewables as you can get, all the better. Having said that, we also think there are going to be some constraints in terms of generating renewables. And that's why it becomes very important to work all the fronts at the same time. We have a major concern. Emissions have gone up by 1 gigaton. We're going up faster than we want. We're going to We're going to have to peak faster than we want. We're locking in infrastructure that's going to create costs. So we need to work all of these issues very carefully and very deeply. I must apologize to the chairman who wanted me to talk a little more about energy efficiency. But to be frank, I didn't really want to talk about renewables and leveling the playing field in CCS and energy efficiency. The other science publication. Because one point I did want to make is in terms of our scenarios, hydrocarbons do continue to play a role in the future in terms of development consistent with the 2-degree scenario. And then the last thing, just to cheat on your time, in terms of financing, it's very important, yes, that we talk about the private sector, but it's also important to recognize that in developing countries, emerging economies that are critical to a lot of the mitigation, a lot of the energy companies are state-owned enterprises. A lot of the other companies are state-owned enterprises. So we have to think not only about the private sector in the UK and the OECD countries, but we have to think about the quasi-public sector. For example, in Norway, in Brazil, in China.
And Michael, on the finances of this, thank you.
I'm going to come back to the figure that I gave in my opening remarks of the 283 billion that's invested, and hopefully that figure will rapidly grow to 300 to 400, 500 billion. And the correct way to think about it is what's the portfolio of investment, since we've got uncertainties about a number of technologies and a number of system shifts. Then the question is, does it make sense to put our efforts into saying, thou shalt not invest in this because we want it in this? The answer is, it's not just all of the above in a thoughtless way, but it's about having a portfolio, just as you would as an investor, and saying, well, is it worth spending a few tens of billions really understanding carbon capture and storage? And doing that, by the way, Philip, to your point, do it quickly. If the point of the investment is to learn, then you want to learn. There's an option value to learning quickly. So I think that rather than fighting CCS, we should get it done, get a number of large-scale operations as quickly as possible so we can value the learning. But what I would say is you've named one technology whereby renewable energy can become baseload. I do want to say that our own view is that the whole concept of baseload is essentially obsolete, because there are so many different ways of smoothing power demand. Now, that doesn't mean that one can deploy them tomorrow. These are also things one has to invest in. So demand response, stiffening the grid, all sorts of storage technologies at scale that are coming through the system and looking promising. So when I argue to say that we should do the CCS investment, again, I'm not postulating that means that we shouldn't do, whether it's solar thermal with storage, or demand response, or power storage at grid scale, because we're going to have to shift quickly to a new energy architecture, large chunks of which we don't yet have as cost-effective technologies at scale. So we need to think about our investment portfolio in order to get there and to prove those pieces.
What about reductions of the fossil fuel subsidies that happen? That's a price mechanism that is ridiculously distorting the market.
And on that one, I think all panelists will agree with you. We should move in that direction. The sooner we move in it, the better off we will be. Next question, please.